All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. And thank you for joining our free online lesson today. And today will be the basic drainage design in Infrawork. So hopefully you can see my screen and can hear me clearly. So if you have any questions, just let me know at the chat box, okay? So my name is Wira. I am the application engineer at ACAP System. And here I'm sharing with you our agenda for today's lessons. Today I'm going to show how to create the terrain themes in model and also create the watershed area. And after creating watershed area, we will adding and edit the culverts and also the drainage in Infraworks. Okay. So far that is our agenda, and I will bring you to our Infraworks. Okay, so I already opened my model here. So basically, if you want to create a watershed area to generate your drainage design, so you need a larger space or larger region in your model. So for my case, I already create a larger region. So if you have a small regions or like your square feet of your model are small, so you might cannot create the watersheds later on. So it's better for you to create a larger region in your model to have a successful watershed analysis. So first, I'm going to create the terrain themes. So what is terrain theme? Terrain theme is the color terrain based on the slope, elevation, and aspects. So why I need to create a terrain theme is because later on when we creating the watershed analysis, we need to find a point on our model with lowest elevations. Okay, so to create a terrain theme, you need to go to manage tab, and then under there is the display column. So you will find this is the symbol of the terrain themes. Okay. Just click on the terrain themes and it will pop up this box in your right side which is the terrain themes. And if in your themes there's no theme yet. So for my case, I already created just now a terrain theme for my model. So if you want to create a new themes for your terrain, you just click on this plus button, which is add a new theme. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So I didn't share the screen for a moment. Okay, now you can see the Infrawork. All right, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so I just going to go back for the previous one. Okay. So currently I already opened my model here. So I have a larger region model. And then I want to create the terrain theme. So terrain themes basically you use it for you to analyze the slope, the elevation of your model, the aspect of your model. So why I need to analyze this elevation of my model here? Because I want to find the lowest elevation for me to pick the point for the watershed analysis later on. So to do the terrain theme, go to manage that, and then under the manage there is display column. So there is the terrain themes. Okay, like a mountain symbol there. So just click on that one, and then you will, oh sorry, I just move this one. Okay. And then in your right side, you will find there is the terrain themes. So for the terrain themes, so if you didn't create any terrain themes yet, add the themes, you just can click on add button here. There is a add new themes. Okay, so click on that one, and this box for your setting for your theme will pop up. So you can rename, you can select the analysis of type, the minimum value, maximum value, and so on. So we'll go through one by one. So the first thing, I'm going to rename these teams as the terrain teams B. Okay, because I already have terrain team A. Just now I created. And then the analysis type, I will use the elevations because I want to know the lowest and the highest elevation, and then I can create the watershed area. Okay. And then the minimum value will be 0. The maximum value, you can also change it to whatever value that you want. So for me, I'm just going to let it be as 16. So if you want to change to 20 meter, 1 meter only is up to your spec. Okay. And then the distribution will be equal, and the number of rules, actually the number of rules is depend of the color palettes that you use. So currently I'm using the HSVCCW, which is the palette for this color preview down here. Okay, it have 6 color. So if you change the palettes down here, let's see, I'm going to use this one, that one palette. So you can see automatically for the number of rows up here, it's changing to 14 because it's depend on the color palettes down here. Okay, so you want to change the color palette, number of rows, you need to change the color palettes down here. Or if you want to change according to your specification, your definitions, you can either change it to user defined. So this, you can randomly insert the value or the number of rows there. So I'm going to use that one palette. And then I'm done with the setting for the themes. I click on OK. Now in your model, it will show like this. Okay, basically like analysis. Okay, you can see the color there. So it also explained to you in your right side here. The lower elevations is for 0 until 1.14 is this purple color, and then the highest elevation in this model according to the setting that we set just now is 16. So 14.86 until 16 with a red color. Okay, so this I'm going to use this to pick a point for my watershed area. So done with the terrain themes. So next I'm going to create a watershed area. So why I want to create watershed area for my drainage design. So because watershed is used, let me see again. Watershed is used to create the area of land that show the channel rainfall, show the snow melts and run off a common body of water. So it will show the flow of your water according to your existing ground. Okay, so watershed also identify and analyze the watershed intersecting a selected component road, or you can also identify the watershed from the single low point of terrain. So this is why I created the terrain thing just now. It's because I want to create the watershed from a single low point. So other than that, you can also create the watershed analysis by using the intersections of watersheds and also the component root. Okay, so in watersheds, in a single analysis of watershed, there might be a multiple identifier of watershed area. Okay, each watershed are selectable and a selectable feature, which is you can add the rainfall intensity, you can add the region, you can add the state, and so on. Okay. All right, so who are just coming in, thank you for joining me. And then from watershed, we can also display the design, the drainage design and the stream locations. and the mark of stream cross the roads with a blue button pin. So this is where I want to pin the lowest elevation in the watershed in the model. And then the analysis use the existing ground surface prior to placement, grading a component road. Okay, so basically you want to create a road in your watershed, so it will using the existing ground surface to place a component road. Okay, so this is why I want to create watershed before I creating the drainage design in Infrawork. Okay, so I'll go back to my Infrawork here. So I already done the terrain theme just now, and then to create the watershed analysis, you go to the analyze tab here, and then down here you will find there is a drainage column. So it's here, the watershed. Okay, the watershed button, just click on that one. So after you click, right away after you click the watershed button, you will find this is the notice where it's required internet connections and also an Autodesk 360 account for you to create the watershed analysis, because the generating process will be a cloud-based services. Okay, so if you have the internet connection and also you have the Autodesk 360, you can just click on OK. And after you click on OK, you will find this box for you to set the analysis of your watershed point. Okay, let me zoom in when I want to put the point. Place the point. I want to place a point here. Okay, so the watershed setting here, you can see under the analysis setting, there is the grid spacing and also the stream threshold options. So the grid spacing, the lower the grid spacing, the higher the analysis will be. Okay, and then the stream threshold is depend on your area of your model. Okay, so currently, usually it will set as default depend on your model. So I have Infrawork suggest me to do the grid spacing for 20 meter, and also the stream threshold is 100 for area 4,000 meters square. Okay, so after I do the setting for the watershed, and then I'm going to place the point in my model. So let me do that again. Okay, and then if you want to place the point, you will find in your cursor, at your cursor there is a bullet. Okay, like a bubble there, like a teardrop bubble. Okay, so I want to place it here because this is one of the lowest elevation in our in my model. So how do I know that? I just see my terrain themes beside here. So the blue color is one of the lowest elevation. So I just click on like that, and then press enter keys in your keyboard. So it will generate your watershed analysis. Okay, so generating process will be on cloud. You might need to wait a few moments to the watershed analysis be done. Okay, once it's done, it will show you a notice your analysis request complete successfully. Okay, and then you just click on OK. So now you cannot see the area of the watershed because it's covered with the terrain themes. So what you're going to do is you just go back to this box, the terrain themes box, and then you uncheck on the themes that you just create just now. Just uncheck on that one. So the themes will be hide, and then you can also close on this one. Okay. So now if I'm zoom out, I can find this is the watershed area. So this is why you need a larger region in your model, because we never know the watershed area will be. Okay. So just now I just picked one point, and then actually the watershed area are bigger. Okay. So in the watershed area here, you can find there is a black line, this one. Okay, so this is actually the center of the stream, which is the flow of your water. Okay, so later on, you might need to use this one to create the culvert, to add the drainage and so on. Okay, so which means it will flow from here until here, and then from this point to that point. Okay, this is depend on your existing ground. So other than that, if I click on the watershed, and then on your right side, it will show you the detail of your watershed. Okay, you can also change the type of your watershed here. So currently the watershed is blue color. So let's say you want to change it to green color or other color than blues. You just click on box here. And then this is the style that you can use. So for example, I change to green color. And then your watershed will be turning into a green color. Okay, like that. So usually I'm just going to change it to blue again because usually use watershed for blue color. And then you can also change and edit the hydrology data for this watershed. So let's say you want to add the rainfall intensity, the coefficient, the runoff coefficients. You can also do that. So currently, the hydrology method is user-defined, which is we can add the peak flow or the AEP by ourselves. So let's say you want to adding the AEP automatically using the rainfall, the regions, you can change the hydrology method here. Just click on the user define, and then you will find there's two more methods that you can use, which is rational and regressions. Okay. So for the regressions, basically this one is depend on your state and your region. You can see here, this is the state and this is the region. So you can click to drop down for the state there, and then you will find, you can choose whatever state that you want. So usually in my model, I didn't have the accurate state in Infrawork, so I will use the rational method, which means I need to add the runoff coefficients and also the rainfall intensities by myself. Okay, so usually you will have your own spec, your own data to key in. So now I just key in the data for the runoff coefficient will be 0.2. Okay, this is I just randomly insert the value. So if you have the correct value or you want to insert the value according to your specification, you can also do that. Okay, and then for the rainfall intensity, I'm just going to insert 300 mm per hour. Okay, 200 mm, 300 mm, around that. And then down here, you can also see the geometry of these watersheds, the area, the channel length, the channel slope, and the lowest and the highest elevation for this watershed. Okay, you can see the highest is 9.8 meter, and then the lower is the 5.96 meter. Okay, so now I'm done with the watershed. Then I can also do the rainfall content in this Infrawork. So you can just click on escape to make the box disappear. Then you go back to the drainage drop down, you go to drainage column here, and then you go to drainage drop down, you will find this rainfall contents. So rainfall contents is being used to assign and manage model-specific rainfall data for more accurate drainage design. Okay, if I click on this one, it will pop up this rainfall content. So we have this IDF sample that you can use. You can use A and Z, BDE and tabular sample. This is a sample. If you want to create a new one, you just click on this pencil button here. You can create your, oh sorry, this one is edit. You want to create a new one, you need to create this plus button. Okay, this is where you add the rainfall content. So I'm just going to use the sample one here. Double click on whatever sample that you want to use, and then it will pop up this box. Okay, IDF rainfall for my watershed just now. And then you can see this is the ratio 1/10. You can see the duration per minute and the intensity per mm per hour. Okay, so it will set according to what setting you do, based on what setting you do in your watershed just now, which is watershed data. Okay, so you want to see for the ratio 1/20, 1/20, 1/50, 1/100. So it will show like that. And then down here, you can see this is the parameter table, A, B, C, N till G. Okay, the elevations and so on. So let's say you want to bring up this table, you want to add it as a CSV file. Okay, you can just go to the rainfall contents box here, and then you will find this one. You need to close this one first. Okay, you'll find this button, export rainfall data file. Okay, so make sure you click on the sample or the IDF that you want to export first, and then you click on export to rainfall data file here, and then you can just export as usual. It will be CSV file. All right, then just save. So I didn't want to export, I just cancel. And then after I do the rainfall content, I will add the culverts. So to add culvert, either you can add it manually or you can make Infrawork do the work for you according to your watershed and also the stream, the center of the stream. So to do that, first thing you need to do, you need to change the drain, the road type here. Okay, for example, I'm going to change this road. You can see this is actually a bridge, but if you see there is no structure for this bridge. To add structure for this bridge, just click on the road and then change it to a component road. Okay. Okay, to change it to a component road, just right click and then you go to this convert to component road. Okay, why I need to change it to component road? Because after you change the road type to component road, you can add the structure, add the culvert, the drainage work, and the drainage network, and so on. Okay. So after I change to component road, so I can close on this rainfall content first. And then I right click, and then the features after you right click, after you change the component root are different from just now. Okay, so you can add structure, you can add drainage and so on. So I'm going to add structure. So I add bridge structure. So you can, after you click on the bridge structure, and then you will find this yellow yellow things here to where you want to add the bridge. Okay, where the first point where you want to add the bridge and the second point you want to add the bridge. Okay, just pick any first point and then second point here. And wait for a moment, so it will automatically generate the structure for you. You can see, okay, the structure for this bridge. And then let's say you want to make this bridge higher, the elevation, you can just click on the road there, and then you can use this gizmos button, or you want to use this elevation button also can. So let's say I use this elevation button to make it up more, make the height more higher, and then the structure will follow with the elevation that you can see. Okay. And then I'm going to add culvert. So I go to this part which have these cross sections. Okay, you can see this road and then this stream are crossing, have cross sections. So I'm going to make Infrawork automatically create a culvert for this intersection. Okay, between the center of the stream and then the road. So to do that, first you need to change the route to a company road, and then after you change the route to company road, you right click and then down the very last feature there is the add culvert. Okay, you click on the add culvert, so you need to wait for a moment. It's generating the culvert, and then you will find this is the culvert that Infrawork add for you. Okay, everything is automatically. The elevation, the type of the inlet, the type of the material of the pipe, also, all of the placement are being added automatically according to your center of the stream and also the type of the route. Okay, so let's say you want to change the culvert type and also the elevation. Just click on the culvert there. And then you will find in your right side, this is the type or the data of the culvert that you can change. So let's say you want to change the inlet, you can just change here. Okay, you can see the square edge, groove and projecting. And also you can also add barrels in your culvert. So currently it's 1. So if I change it to 3, for example, so you can see, click on enter first. You can see the culvert are now have 3 holes or 3 pipes. Okay, and also you can change the material if you want, the shape of the culvert also can. So currently it's circular. So if you want to change to a box shape, you can also do that. So let's say I'm changing to a box shape. And there you go. Okay, oops, just accidentally move it. Undo first. Okay. So you can see the difference between a box shape and also the cellular shape. So I'm just going to make it circular shape again. And then I'm going to change the elevations of this culvert. So to make it underground. So I just click again on the culvert pipe. And then I'm going to use this button, this gizmos button, to make it lower. Okay, so just click on this like a cone button there. So you can bring down using your mouse, okay, using your cursor, or you can also insert the elevation, the value. So let's say 5 meter, enter. Okay, you can see, yeah, I'm insert 5 meter for elevation here. So it's bring it down. Okay, so you want to make it more, to make the elevation more lower, just repeat the step, make it lower. You can either move your mouse, okay, move your mouse, or you can insert the exact value. Okay, you can see the culvert are now underground. And you can also change the size of the inlet here. You click on the inlet again, and then you can see here is in the end treatment. You can change the head wall height. Okay, so maybe I change to 1.5 meter, enter. Then you can see the difference of the height. Okay, maybe I change a bigger size, 2.5. Okay, you can see the culverts are now higher. Okay, and then you can also add the drainage network in the model. So to do that, go to create button. So unfortunately, the features where you can automatically adding the drainage network in Infrawork are not available right now. So you need to add it manually. So you go back to create tab and click the drainage drop down, and then there is the drainage network. Okay, so this is the drainage network where it will automatically add the structure in it, which is the main hole, the inlet, and so on. Okay, I'm just going to use this one. And then you can find here the box. This box will pop up, which is the create drainage box. Sorry, where you can change the type of inlet you want. Okay, if I click on that one, you can select the component. Okay, you can use this library, Infrawork library, to choose whatever inlet structure that you want. Same goes to the main hole, same goes to the pipeline. So I'm just going to use the default setting here. Then you can also change the name, the network name. And then I'm going to make it a top view for me to easier for me to place the pipe or the network or the drainage network. Okay, just start the first point here, second point, and then like that. And then this one is just randomly place the drainage network. So if you have your own spec, you can follow your own spec on own point for adding the pipe, the drainage network pipe. Okay, so if I move my model, so you can see automatically it will place under the road, okay, underground. And okay, and then you can also adjust it if after you place it, you're not satisfied with the placement of the pipes, placement of the culverts, placement of the manhole. You can just click it again, and then you can change it right away in the box here, the detail. Okay, so let's say you want to change the invert level, invert elevation. Let me pick this one. So it's pretty difficult to pick the pipe because it's underground. So you just can move the model there. Now I'm going to pick this one. And then you can see here at the pipelines options, you can change the start invert and also the end invert. You can insert the value, or you want to use this button here in your map also can. Okay. So let's say I'm going to change the structure. Just click on that one and then click on the type here. You can also change the type. See, let's say I change it to this kind of manhole. So you can see the manhole are changing. And if you want to change the invert level, you can just click on the pipe again, change it here. Let me change it. The start invert to like 5 meter. So you can see it's changing the pipe connections. Okay. So next, after that, you can generate the report. Okay. So for example, you want to generate the report for the culvert just now. Okay, for this culvert, so you just click on the culvert, and then in the culvert options, the culvert box on the right side, you will find there is performance column. So there is a report. Okay, so here, just click on this generate analysis report, and this kind of HTML file will pop up. So it will show you the type of the culvert, the material is concrete, the shape, the HGL level, HGL elevations, and also the covered land. And most of it is just a detail of your culverts, okay, the calculation and so on. Okay, and then you can also generate the calculation quantities, material quantities for the road. For example, I want to know how many pipes or how many culverts that I need to insert in this model. So you just click on the road again, and then on the road down here you find there is like a calculator button. Okay, you just click on that one, and then it will list down the material quantity for you. So the utilities, you'll find there is drainage pipe. Okay, the culverts, there are 3 culverts according to my barrels just now. Okay, it's a cellular type, the road component, so you can also generate these material material quantities. Okay, you can calculate also the material quantities, and then you can also generate the report into a CSV file. Okay, and lastly, you can do the inspect performance for the pipes. Okay, so let's say I want to see the HGL or EGL for this pipe. So you go back to Analyze tab, and then you go to this drainage drop down, and then you will find this inspect performance. So this is for the pipe network run. Okay, just click on that one. And then you can see this is the analysis setting, the AEP. So this one is actually related to the waterfall or watershed analysis just now. Okay. So I'm going to change it 1 by 100. And then click the first connector, which is the structure here. And then the second one. And then click on enter keys. So you will find this kind of HGL and EGL data. Okay, so if I play around my cursor along the pipes, so it will show the EGL and the EGL and also the obverts of the pipe. Okay, you can do this for all the pipe in your model. Okay. Okay, I think that's all for today's lessons. So there is any question you want to ask me? Okay, so before I end my lesson today, I just want to share with you our website. Okay, you can go to accadsystem.com, and then you can scroll down. You can find this is our next free online lessons, and then if you interest to join our free online lesson, just click on the picture there, the photo there, and then just click on going, and we will email you the Zoom link, the date. So if there is a postponed date, so we will email you. And if you want to rewatch this free online lesson, you can go to our YouTube channel. Okay, ACAD Systems Syndrome Berhad. And then here you will find there is a lot of videos, the previous free online lessons with a lot of topics, software, and so on. Okay, so that's all for me today. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope that you understand why I'm going for today's lessons. I hope that you get something for today's lessons. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.